Writing the end of books is apparently something that I struggle with.
But I do have a folder right here called Beta Readers, in all caps, of course.
All of this is feedback, like I said, almost a novel in itself, just the feedback. A lot of new things. Where to begin? Do you ever get caught up in planning all of the things that you need to do and then you never actually get to do the things that you're planning on doing because you just spend all that time planning? Yeah, that happens. So I'm trying to just, I wrote it down, that's it, let's actually do stuff. Okay, so I really want to finish this draft of my fantasy novel and I have 2 more scene cards that I need to get through. So 4 scenes or 4 moments in here. And those are the last things that I have to write for this draft to be done. I'm just gonna read the last thing that I wrote to remember where I left off. Oof, that was dark. Why did I write that? Good morning. It is Saturday, the 20th, I want to say. So I haven't been doing that much because we're about to move in a little bit. So there's a lot of pre-moving stuff that we need to do. However, 3 of my 4 beta readers who have stuck with me till the end have finished reading my book, which is super exciting, and they've sent me all the feedback. So I need to print all of that because I haven't printed the feedback in a while. And then I have 1 more beta reader who I'm still missing the last 2 sections from. They're currently reading those last 2 sections, and then hopefully they'll send it back to me, and then I'll have 4 people who have read the entire thing and have given me feedback for the entire thing, which is super, super good and really, really exciting. However, because we're moving, I probably won't be able to go through all that feedback and actually start my revision plan until after we've moved and we're settled in a little bit, which is probably going to take some time. I also have a goal of finishing the manuscript for my fantasy draft until the moving process actually begins, because again, I probably won't be able to work on that very much for a few weeks. Writing the end of books is apparently something that I struggle with. I haven't written a brand new, fresh draft in a little bit, and so I've kind of forgotten that this is actually something I genuinely struggle with. And it's really evident with this fantasy draft because I have the notes, like I know what's going to happen in general. I don't know exactly what is going to happen every scene, but I know in general what the purpose of it is and what the outcome is. And I find it so hard to put down the words to get there. So that's another thing I'm struggling with. There's a lot of struggling lately, not gonna lie. It's been hard. Also, this is how you know that we're moving, when we're looking over so many swatches of paint and stressing over choosing the wrong off-white color. These differences are so tiny, but it's so stressful. Like, look at this. There's a whole catalog for just white colors, and we're stressing over which one we should choose for each room, and it's so why is this so stressful?
So I just thought I'd show you real quick how I organized my beta reading feedback in case you're interested. So this is the folder where I have everything that relates to Hunting Vienna. It used to be called Your Daniel, as in that was a very silly working title, and for some reason I still have that. But this is a mess. I'll probably make another video on how to organize your writing, but this ain't it, just so you're aware. But I do have a folder right here called Beta Readers, in all caps, of course. And then I have all of the sections that I split the book into. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections in total, and they average around 5 chapters each, sometimes less, sometimes more. And then as you can see here in my first section, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people comment on the first 5 chapters, and that's basically how I do it. I just have a file in each person's folder just so I can keep track of who's sent me feedback and who hasn't. And the last 2 sections, as you can see here, I have 3 people and 3 people, so I'm missing 1 person. This is kind of how I organize it. And then I have the document with the questionnaire in here. And yeah, I mean, I've briefly scanned through the feedback as I was receiving it, but I really want to do a deep dive into the feedback once I have everything and check for common themes. But I will cover that, of course, in a future video once I've actually gotten to that step. But I just wanted to quickly show you how I've organized it. And as you can see here, for each section, I have the actual chapters and the questionnaire. The chapters are in a PDF format and the questionnaire is just in a Word doc format so they can edit it. But I have it all organized in here just to make it easier for me to find everything that I need. So yeah.
And now we print a lot. There's actually a lot to print. I'm gonna be listening to the sound of the printer's people for a while. Alright, so I just printed about 1 million pieces of paper. Like I had this section and this section and this section. I'm just gonna put these in the folder. Oh my god, the printer is still complaining. So this is what I have now. This is a lot thicker than it looks, but I have all of the sections now. So I'm just missing 1 person for the last 2 sections and then it's done. Yeah, so I'm really excited to finally have most of the feedback. But look, all of these are feedback. I should probably staple them, to be honest, instead of using paper clips, but that's just what I had on hand. It's already real thick. This is exciting. I'm gonna go try and write a bit on my fantasy draft, as I try every day and fail miserably. So I got my very last sections of beta feedback. So, you know what this means. More printing. We have also started to slowly move from this place, and a lot of my stuff is now in boxes, including some of my books. But moving definitely puts into perspective how many books I have, because I always feel like I actually don't own that many, because I only have this one bookshelf filled to the brim, and putting all of these books into moving boxes really just made me panic a little bit, because I do have a lot of books and I'm planning on getting a full wall of bookshelves to fill it with even more books. Yeah, there's a lot of books. So yes, I have so much feedback. All of this is feedback, like I said, almost a novel in itself, just the feedback. And altogether, getting to this point took me about 2 months, I would say. I think I started somewhere in January. I'll put the timestamp here. And then this is how long it took to get all the feedback. Of course, I haven't actually done anything with the feedback yet. Like I said, that's an entirely different process that I will have to start after we move into the new house. But of course, this is because I chose to send my book out in batches and ask questions after each batch, because I wanted a more detailed, in-depth feedback on everything that happens. Of course, if you would just send the book all at once to your betas, it would take a lot less time. That just depends on how you want to go about this, but this is the method that I've chosen to do now, and I think it was the right choice for me right now, but of course I will have to see if I'm going to do the same next time. But honestly, I just loved reading the feedback, especially the feedback for the end of the book. It was so much fun to read everyone's reactions and what they thought was going to happen, how excited they are about the continuation or where the characters will go in the future. It was just so much fun to read everyone's reactions. So I really enjoyed doing this more detailed process, just honestly for my own enjoyment of reading other people's thoughts on the story. Since, like I mentioned, I haven't really shown this version of the story to pretty much anyone except now with my beta readers. So I'm super happy with this process, and I'm very excited to deep dive into the feedback and actually put it into practice and make this book even better. I'm really, really thankful for all my betas who have spent all this time and energy helping me with this novel, so it's really, really cool. I loved one specific beta's feedback for the majority of the book. She kept calling my characters her children, and especially at the end she was emphasizing that so much, and I felt that because of course these characters in some ways do feel like my children. I do feel like I know them so well, having been with them for such a long time. But it was fun to see someone else's reaction that is very similar to how I feel about these characters, so that was really nice. So yes, there's so much more work ahead of me, but I will keep you posted and yeah, keep updating on with the vlogs as long as I'm actually doing some work, which won't happen for a little bit while we move our lives into a different place. We have a lot of stuff. That is something that I realized. There is a lot of stuff to move, a lot of stuff that I need to get rid of. I'm just looking at the boxes full of stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. This has better lighting, but it also has this. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah. Hello. So, a lot of new things. Where to begin? As you can see, my background has changed. I have finally moved to the house and we've been here now for about a month. A bit over a month, actually, a month and 2 weeks. So there's been a lot going on and there's so much work still that we need to do on the house. So filming is limited, writing has been limited, everything has been limited. However, having said that, I have finally managed to finish the first draft of my fantasy novel that I've been working on since November, since NaNoWriMo 2020. I have finished it. Finally, after about a month of working on this house, I found the time and mental state to actually sit down and finish this book. So my final word count for the first draft of this fantasy novel is 56,043 words. So that's only 6,000 more than the NaNoWriMo sort of limit, but it's a skeleton of a first draft. Definitely needs to be fleshed out. A lot of things need to be changed. I already know. I messed up one of the character names like halfway through. I completely just changed the character name. I didn't even realize it until I read it back. And it's just stuff like that. But there's a lot of work that I need to do for this book. But I finished it. So I'm happy about that. And I'm happy about the house. As you can see, I have a lot more books and bookshelves behind me, and you will see a lot more of that in future videos. There's a lot of great things. And now, since I finished this first draft and I have moved and settled into this new house, I can actually start work on revising Hunting Vienna after the beta round. So now I have all of my beta feedback, so I need to make a plan and start the revision process, and that'll be in the next video. So I think I'm going to end this vlog here because it's been a while, it's been a journey. A lot of things have changed in my life, so I've been a little bit all over the place. Very happy, very excited, have accomplished some things, and I'm excited about all the other things that I'm gonna accomplish in this new and beautiful house that I'm in. And just the space like changed my outlook so much, because yeah, I just feel so much more inspired, especially in this room in my office, and it's just so nice. So yeah, look forward to more videos, and I'll show you some of this room and some of this house at some point. Next up, I will try and plan a revision for my beta feedback. So stay tuned for the next writing vlog, and otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and yeah, I'll see you next time with a new video. Bye!